15 goals, 18 assists, Bundesliga title, Champions League semifinals, 20 years old. These are not the resumes of an aging veteran. These are the resumes of Florian Wirtz, Germany's golden boy, who's already dominating European football ahead of his 21st birthday. When Bayer Leverkusen tore Bayern Munich apart to end their 11-year Bundesliga reign, it wasn't just Xabi Alonso calling the tactical shots. It was Wirtz running midfield, creating chances that defenders were just not able to get in the way of. How does a 20-year-old already possess such maturity, vision, and technical brilliance? What makes him so special that Liverpool, Manchester City, Real Madrid, and Barcelona are all queuing up mammoth transfer bids to sign him? Today, we're diving deep into the emergence of football's newest sensation, from his modest origins to becoming Germany's most valued asset. This is the Florian Wirtz story. Before we go back to where it all began, let's see just how impressive Wirtz's current career achievements really are. For Bayer Leverkusen, Wirtz has already played over 130 games despite his young age. In the 2023-24 season alone, he scored 15 goals and 18 assists in total across all competitions, leading Leverkusen to their first ever Bundesliga title, ending an 11-year Bayern Munich monopoly in the process. For Wirtz, who at 20 years of age has already gathered 14 caps and 2 goals under his belt, including scoring the second quickest goal in the history of international football, only 7 seconds after kickoff against France. How amazing are those numbers? Wirtz has accomplished all of that after his recovery from a grotesque ACL injury that he suffered for nearly 10 months from. If you're enjoying this deep dive into one of football's most exciting talents, make sure to hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel. We've got premium football content coming your way weekly. Florian Richard Wirtz was born on May 3, 2003 in Pulheim, near the outskirts of Cologne, Germany. Football was a hobby in the Wirtz household, not to mention business. His father, Joachim, was the chairman at Grünwald Brauweiler, where Florian took his first steps on the football field at the age of 4. His sister, Julianne, is also a professional footballer, currently playing for Werder Bremen's women's team. His parents are still his agents today, keeping his career in family hands. In contrast to most football prodigies who burst onto the stage with inherent physical attributes, Wirtz faced substantial obstacles. Standing only 5 foot 8 inches or 1.76 meters tall, his slight height meant he was largely ignored by scouts, preferring physicality to technical ability. "I was always among the shortest players on the field," Wirtz once explained in an interview. "But my dad always used to tell me that most important thing is what you do with the ball, not how high you are." This early youth defined Wirtz's growth and development, having to compensate for his small and diminutive frame by developing excellent technical ability and quick thinking and spatial awareness now behind his game. Wirtz was signed with FC Köln's youth system at the age of 7, where he would remain for the next decade honing his skills. His talent notwithstanding, his journey wasn't a linear one. His coaches would, on occasion, bench him to make room for larger, stronger players in major games, and he would struggle to gain acknowledgement. The turning point in Wirtz's early career came in January 2020. At just 16 years old, he made a controversial switch from FC Köln to their local rivals Bayer Leverkusen, breaking an unwritten agreement between Cologne region clubs that they would not poach each other's young players. The move did cause a huge commotion. However, Leverkusen sporting director Simon Rolfs knew exactly what they were getting themselves in for. "We saw a player of outstanding vision, technical ability, and football IQ that only comes along once every 10 or 20 years. Leverkusen had a strong tradition of developing young players, from Michael Ballack to Kai Havertz, and Wirtz was their turn. First relegated to Leverkusen's U17, his excellent performances forced a rapid ascension. Just 5 months later, the 17-year-old Wirtz was training with the first team and impressing the coach, Peter Bosz, with his maturity and technical competency. May 18, 2020 will go down in football history when Wirtz made his debut in the Bundesliga against Werder Bremen and became the youngest Leverkusen player at the age of 17 years and 15 days, eclipsing the record of the former Kai Havertz. Just a few weeks later, he scored his first professional goal against Bayern Munich. Not just any opponent, but the champions. In the process, he became the youngest Bundesliga goal scorer at the time. It's since been broken by Yusufa Moukoko. "When I scored that goal, I couldn't believe it," Wirtz subsequently admitted. To score against Manuel Neuer against Bayern Munich, it was like a dream. Then came a rapid succession of youngest ever records. First to have scored 5 Bundesliga goals before the age of 18. Youngest to have made 50 Bundesliga appearances. Youngest to have scored 10 Bundesliga goals. But as Wirtz was establishing himself as German football's brightest star, tragedy struck. March 13th, 2022, a day that turned things upside down for the young star. During a match against his former team FC Köln, Wirtz attempted to cut sharp and collapsed on the ground, writhing in agony. The prognosis was devastating. A complete tear of his anterior cruciate ligament, or ACL. "That moment was like my world was crashing," Wirtz would confess later. "All I could think about was how long I'd be away from football." From a meteorically rising 18-year-old whose trajectory seemed unstoppable, the injury brought everything perilously close to crashing down. The journey back would be long and winding. 10 months of rehabilitation, out of the 2022 World Cup, and into the uncertainty that haunts every sports person after such a serious injury. So many promising careers have been irreparably derailed by ACL injuries. Would Wirtz be among them as a cautionary example? This incredible comeback story is just getting started. If you want to see more in-depth player analysis like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can never miss our weekly football documentaries. When Xabi Alonso was appointed manager at Leverkusen in October of 2022, getting Wirtz back to action was among his top priorities. Alonso did not rush him back into action. Instead, he adopted a cautious approach in rehabilitating the young player. Wirtz eventually returned to action on January 22, 2023, when he came on as a substitute against Borussia Mönchengladbach. In his second appearance after returning, he assisted in a goal, giving hints of his pre-injury form. But the real breakout was in the 2023 and 24 season. With Alonso, Wirtz developed from promising young player to full-fledged superstar. Alonso employed him as a right-sided attacking midfielder, allowing him to run free, create, and dominate the game. The success has been nothing short of spectacular. Guided by Wirtz as a creative pulse, Leverkusen chased a record unbeaten run across all competitions and won their first ever Bundesliga title, as well as reached the later stages of both the German Cup and the Europa League. What separates Wirtz so much after the injury isn't just his technical ability, it's football intelligence. He possesses a natural understanding of space, timing, and opportunity way above his age. As Bayern Munich legend Lothar Matthäus said, Wirtz doesn't play what he sees. He plays what he sees a fraction earlier than everybody else. That makes him special. What is it about Florian Wirtz that intimidates opposition defenders so much? Let's break down his game. First, there's his excellent close control. Wirtz can be passed the ball under pressure from multiple defenders and somehow emerge with possession intact. His low center of gravity allows him to change direction with minimal setup, leaving defenders reaching for thin air. Then there's his passing range. Whether picking needle-like paths between defenders with through balls or changing play with pinpoint diagonal passes, Wirtz's vision and execution are already world-class. His shooting technique is a combination of precision and power. Unlike most young players who would rather use power over placement, Wirtz can finish with either foot from a variety of angles and distances. Perhaps most impressively, Wirtz thrives under pressure. According to Bundesliga data, he faced over 900 pressure situations last season, more than any other player in the league, yet maintained a passing accuracy above 85% and created more chances than any other U21 player in Europe's top 5 leagues. This combination of technical ability, tactical prowess, and maintaining his cool under pressure makes him not just an outstanding young player, but arguably one of the most well-rounded attacking midfielders of his generation. With Wirtz heading towards the pinnacle of football, the next question is not if he'll leave Leverkusen, but when and where he'll be next off to. The transfer rumors have started. Will he go with his current manager Xabi Alonso to Real Madrid? Will Manchester City or Liverpool try to convince him to test himself in the Premier League? Or can Bayern Munich keep him in Germany as they rebuild their domestic title? Wherever he ends up, the transfer fee will definitely shatter records for a German player, with figures ranging from 100 to 150 million euros. Internationally, Wirtz will be paired with Bayern Munich's Jamal Musiala to form a killer duo for the German national team, which would return Germany to global heights after decades of disappointment. The greats of football are already anointing him great. Toni Kroos has called him the future of German football, while Xabi Alonso commented, "Florian has no ceiling. He can become one of the best players in the world." With the European Championships coming up and Wirtz entering his prime years, we may be witnessing the early chapters of a career that will define German football for the next decade. From the small pitches of Polheim to conquering the Bundesliga, Florian Wirtz's journey embodies everything we love about football: talent, perseverance, and the ability to overcome adversity. And at just 20 years of age, he's already accomplished what most players can only dream about doing in an entire career. But there's a sense that we've only begun to appreciate what this incredible talent is capable of. Every top club in Europe has every reason to fear Florian Wirtz, not only for what he is now, but what he's going to be tomorrow. The wonder kid of Germany is on an unstoppable path towards becoming one of the greatest players in the game's history. Thanks for watching our documentary on Florian Wirtz. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our videos. Let us know in the comments which player you'd like us to cover next. Until next time, football fans.